Mr. Vijay Nirani, Managing Director, TruAlt Bioenergy. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Just about the name, True and Alt, where does it come from?
No, this is the company, what we signify. We are a truly alternative solutions in the energy mix. So the world has only been speaking about fossil fuels and renewable energy. And when we were planning to set this up, what is a true alternative in the energy mix? That was bioenergy. That is how the name was derived. It signifies truly alternative.
I was reading your brochure. You have started in 2021 and you claimed that you are the Asia's largest biofuel company. So how did you do this in the next 3 years?
In fact, we are one of Asia's largest ethanol manufacturers in terms of installed capacity currently. In fact, we have been in the business of ethanol manufacturing since a decade long now. So we have been running ethanol plants when the price of ethanol was 27 rupees and the blending targets were hardly less than 2%. From there on, especially in the last 4-5 years, there have been tremendous boost up and scale up in terms of policy push. Especially the National Biofuel Policy and the EBP program, the Satat program. Capitalizing on all these programs, it was a no-brainer for us looking at the potential of what bioenergy can do in multifold, be it in terms of catering to the country's energy demands, supporting a circular economy, helping our farmers achieve a higher revenue. This entire business of country building, that was all the motive behind TruAlt. And again, the beauty of this was it was a purely profit earning business as well. So not just a simple country building exercise, it was a high profit making country building program.
So what is the present status? Are you into all activities related to bioenergy, or you have done some and you are planning to move with the remaining part later on?
So we currently are in plans to venture into 4 business verticals, especially in the biofuel space. By 4 verticals, I say the first business vertical is our first generation ethanol, which would be run either on damaged grains, which is not human consumable, or the derivatives of sugarcane, be it juice, B-heavy molasses or C-heavy molasses. Our objective is to create 1G ethanol there. And like you rightly said, sir, we have achieved to be the largest in that business vertical already. The second business vertical is compressed biogas. See, we are an agrarian economy and a lot of agricultural residue and a lot of municipal solid waste, a lot of digestible waste is being generated in a country as large as ours. How do we rationally use the waste that we produce is to make methane out of it and make organic fertilizer out of it. So our second business vertical is compressed biogas. We already have 1 such plant in operation and we will be setting up 10 more such plants with a big PSE. GAIL being one of the largest public sector enterprise, they have made public announcements recently on the joint venture that we propose to do in the near future. And we are not going to stop at 10 plants. We have grand vision to do close to 24 such plants immediately in the near future. Other than the CBG vertical, we have 2G ethanol, which is a futuristic product. We only have a few demonstratable commercially operating plants globally. There are only about 12 or 13 2G plants that at least we are aware of. And we want to make one of India's first commercially operable 2G ethanol plant using bagasse and other agricultural residue as feedstock. That's a third business vertical. And the fourth business vertical is sustainable aviation fuel. Aviation fuel is one of the biggest contributors of global warming and the GHG gas emissions. Contributing to reduce on the emissions by airlines and by air traffic fuel is what we are venturing into. We are in touch with a lot of these aviation fuel manufacturers, those who have technology, those who have the licenses, and that's our next in strategy immediately.
So in total, what would be the total production capacity which is presently right now, and in 2 years down the line or 1 year down the line, what would be the total manufacturing capacity?
As of 2024, the current financial year, we have an operating capacity of about 1.4 million liters per day or 14 lakh liters of ethanol production per day. In the next 2 months, we are commissioning an additional 600 kiloliters per day. That's a 6 lakh liter. So net by April end or say by May first week, we will have a total consolidated capacity of 2 million liters per day. That makes us one of the largest in this space. And in terms of CBG, we have 12 tons of gas production, and we have about 140 tons of fertilizer production per day, which is again one of the largest and highly efficient capacities that we have.
So what are the policy support that you feel will take this industry it is anyway on a growth trajectory. So what policy support will take it to the next level?
I must give a big appreciation to the government of India, because the way they have not only formulated this policy and driven this policy to the last bit. हमारा target था as a country to achieve 20% of blending by 2030. They preponed it to 2025. And the kind of growth trajectory that you see, especially in the ethanol blending petrol program, is amazing. So, be the interest subvention scheme or the offtake guarantees or mandations in blending and promoting the automobile manufacturers to launch flex fuel vehicles at the earliest. So, I presume we already have a wonderful policy push in the 1G bit. There are a little exercises required in 2G space as well as the CBG space in terms of integrating offtakes. So government is venturing into it, and we're all making presentations to the government, and I must appreciate and put it on record that government is very reciprocative, and they are taking all suggestions from however bigger company or however smaller company, they weigh their options, the recommendations, and they are taking concrete actions on them.
And who is your technology partner? Is it that it is in-house, or you have taken from Praj or some other company?
So Praj is one of the leading technology providers for us in our current capacities. Of course, we are working with other companies like ISJEC, and we are working with companies like Excel. So Praj, of course, is the largest, and they are out of, I would say, in terms of percentage, more than 80% of the technology we use comes from Praj.
If you see this segment, there are two things which you have not done, which is the green hydrogen and the downstream chemicals. So what is the plan in this regard?
That's a very important avenue of energy. In fact, all the products that we have, for example, methane has 4 hydrogen atoms, and ethanol has close to 5 hydrogen atoms. There's a lot of hydrogen that we are working with already. The current mix is, what do we do with hydrogen that we produce? We can't inject it. We can only burn it in our own facilities, right? The closest to running anything on hydrogen is through electrolyzers in current energy mix. As in how we assess and we come out with more options to bottle hydrogen and do an offset of offtake of hydrogen. For us, it's a natural integration to venture into hydrogen. We have a lot of cogeneration power, that is green energy. We have a lot of hydrogen available in methane and other hydrogen atoms already available. It's only scrubbing impurities from what we are already doing. So hydrogen is a very easy forward integration for companies like us. We are only waiting for the right policy push, and we are waiting for the right offtake. We don't want to be future ready in today's market by investing capital. We want to time it accurately when markets start accepting and we integrate to hydrogen.
What's the revenue that you would be closing March 2024, and what's your expectation or what's your forecast for the next year?
So I would definitely say we are on the path to grow almost by about 28 to 32% of revenue as compared to last year. I'm not sure. I'll have to check the right numbers to share with you. But last year we achieved a top line of close to 1,200 crores, and we expect about somewhere close to 30% of growth this year. And going forward, we expect almost about 100% of growth in our top lines since we are a growing company.
Green hydrogen is one aspect which everybody is looking at. I was looking at the renewable energy guys focusing on green hydrogen. The refineries focusing on green hydrogen. When do we see biofuel energy companies like you, TruAlt, focusing on green hydrogen?
So, like I said, green hydrogen is a natural forward integration for us. For a company like us, the steam that we produce, we burn bagasse, which is a green solution or an alternative to coal. We are already using cogeneration power, which is a green source of energy, and even we have a lot of water available. We have a lot of hydrogen available in the osmosis, or we have a lot of hydrogen available in all the products that we do, methane or ethanol. So it is a very natural forward integration for us to do green hydrogen, but we are not talking anything about green hydrogen. We are waiting for how the policies pan out and how offtake pans out. As soon as that comes in, green hydrogen is a good, easy push for us.
Contribution to sustainability. Are you net zero from day one, or do you have set up any landmark year for achieving that?
Not really. So we are already a net zero, or rather, I would say we are a zero emission company. It's a very interesting take. All the carbon that is burnt in ethanol, that's hardly 2 carbon atoms in ethanol that burn, right? The same carbon atoms are whatever goes out in the atmosphere are used by the sugarcane that we cultivate or the grains that we cultivate. Because sugarcane requires carbon dioxide to grow. The same carbon dioxide from the sugarcane converts into ethanol. So it's a net circular in nature for us in terms of carbon emission. So we already are a carbon neutral fuel. So I don't have a target. I would say from the day of inception, I'm a carbon neutral company. Which is why we have that green push, and we are proud to be in a business as such.
And what will be its impact on the circular economy with bioenergy and biofuel?
That's the biggest avenue that we are very compliant, are very aware of or happy of, is in essence, we work with close to 3.5 lakh farmer families. A farmer family having 4 members is close to about 12 to 15 lakh farmers that we work with directly. That's how many lives we are touching day in, day out. Through production of green fuels, we are offsetting the import of crude oil from overseas countries. Now, for a vehicle when we are blending 20% of ethanol in petrol, that means we are reducing 20% of imports. We are substituting that. Say for example, what the government of India has given record is about 23,000 crores of money which would have otherwise gone outside is retained inside. On that, that's consolidated over the last 3 years. The last year alone we achieved close to 23,000 crores, a massive number. So that big of a number when we are saving, which could have gone to any of the OPEC countries or anywhere outside our country, is now coming into the rural most of economy. Through us, we pay to the farmer, and the farmer uses it to grow our villages. And as the saying goes, we are only as strong as the weakest link. And if our villages are strong, we are going to get there. We are going to achieve the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and we are going to achieve the self-sustaining and a powerful India very soon.
One last question. You have set up a biofuel retail outlet in Bangalore. So any plans of taking this model to other states and other cities?
So this is the first of such such dispensing station is set up in Mudhol actually, and we're awaiting our final approvals from the relevant authorities. As soon as they come through, as a strategy, we have plans to set up an infrastructure for dispensing stations, which will be branded through the TruAlt company. This we want to demonstrate to especially the automobile manufacturers. See, we have a chicken and egg story going on between automobile manufacturers and the biofuel companies. They are willing to bring in flex fuel vehicles provided there are there is fuel available for them for their consumers to consume. For us, we say we are willing to set up these infrastructure as long as vehicles come. So to lead by example, we have, as TruAlt, have already set up one such dispensing station, and to further strengthen that proof of concept to SIAM, Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, we have plans to set up more than 250 retail stations in the near future across the country.
So from 20% ethanol blending, where do we go? 100% as it is in Brazil?
Absolutely. So if you compare our processes between Brazil, what Brazil did 35 years ago is what we are doing today. And the day is not far when we have ample quantities to cater to E100 vehicles, E93 vehicles, E27. It's going to be a norm. And we are not very far behind that. So it shows when we have preponed our targets from 2030 to 2025 and how we have scaled up with less than 2% of blending in 2018 to almost 12% blending in just 4 years. So we can absolutely assess the kind of growth trajectory that we have and the future that India has.